This is an ABC podcast.
On this episode of Simply the Jest, our topic is the bus, and we're going to be hearing about the Minister for Transport getting your foot stuck and having an explosion vibe.
Completely exploded.
What?
Like the serial killer?
Yeah, the serial killer, yeah.
No!
Did you say you
Are
died?
you back from the dead?
What?
Are you a ghost?
I am back from the dead.
At what point did you realise you were swimming in the pool of one of the most famous musicians of all time?
Like too late.
Is this a Ratatouille situation?
Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Simply the Jest, Australia's best stories.
Hello and welcome to Simply the Jest, Australia's best stories. My name's Lewis Hobber,
My name's Michael Hing.
and we are joined, as always, by the one, the only, the perfect Jess Perkins.
Oh, hello.
Each week, we ask Australia to send in their best stories on a topic. This week's topic is bus. The winner, the very best story in the country, declared by Perko, and another tough week, Perko, as always.
As always, it's always so hard, and I say that on air every week, and I mean it. Actually, some weeks it's like, well, there's the winner. Some weeks you're waiting for the winner to appear, and then finally you get a great story, and you go, thank God you turned up, because...
I'm excited about buses. I caught a school bus to school every day when I was at high school from a beautiful, I was going to say town. It was just a dirt road called Point Addis where I grew up, into the beautiful town of Geelong where I went to school. And one thing that I was reflecting on recently that I was like, man, if a bus driver did this now, I reckon they'd be in prison. There was no air conditioning, obviously, on those buses, and very hot Great Ocean Road Victorian summers. We would drive from our school about an hour down the road with the bus door open, and all the kids would gather around to get the breeze on their face like a hot dog.
Gather around the door?
Gather around the door.
Oh, my God.
Is that
no.
normal? Did everybody do that?
No, that's never... Did anything ever fall out?
Never.
No.
No.
Even for fun, did you like chuck an orange out there?
Kick out a kid? It's Dennis today. See you, Dennis. Yeah, we lost a lot of good kids that way.
But the kids didn't ask for this. The driver just did it
No,
off their
we
own
asked
accord.
for it. It
Oh,
was so hot. Those vinyl seats, you stuck to them. Like you had to physically, it's like getting two like jelly frogs stuck together in a packet. You peel yourself off slowly.
I'm just trying to put together a timeline. Is this in 1948? Is that when this is happening? Is this...
Yeah, we had to do it between bombings in the war.
All right, okay. It's during the war. Okay.
No, this is in the 2000s.
Wow, okay. We put the call out to Triple J listeners for their stories on buses, and they did not disappoint. You're out to hear for some really great callers, including someone who, let me tell you, found a use for a Pringles can that I'd never thought of before.
Matt in Canberra, what's your bus story?
I'm waiting at the bus stop. And I'm like, another guy's waiting there. I'm like, hey, that's the Minister for Transport. Anyway, we're chatting and he's telling me about how good the new bus network is and how excited he is about it. And we all getting ready. New bus is coming along. Stand there ready for it to pick us up and straight past us.
Good to know there's no favouritism from the bus drivers. Very good stuff from them.
So it was supposed to be like a politician trying to be relatable, like, oh yeah, I'll catch the bus once a year, and just got burnt.
He's a pretty salted earth kind of guy.
Okay.
So he's caught the bus more than once in a year.
He's a man who looks like he knows how a bus ticket works.
Okay, that'll do. But apparently doesn't know how to put his hand up to wave one down. Sarah in Chernside Park, what's your bus story?
So basically, we were on a bus in China on our way to our next destination. They said it would be 40 minutes, and it ended up being 3 hours. So I either had the choice to pee my pants or in a container. So my friend empties out her Pringles can. I squat down. Friend ties a jumper over the, in between the seats so no one could see. My friends Dylan and David were screaming at everyone in front of us to turn around and not look. So then it starts running down the ramp because we were in the back seat. So we just cleaned it up with wipes. And then away we went. We put it in the bin after we got off the bus.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought that would be the most waterproof container.
No.
We had
So
a
that was
plastic
brave.
bag.
The Pringles bag went into the Pringles can went into the bag, and then the bag went into the bin.
In the bin.
Wow.
It would, if you were starting peeing and you were trying to you realised it was getting to the top. And
It was getting dangerously close.
Yeah.
So
Did you
I
ever
kinda
say
had
to yourself, Sarah, once you pop, you can't stop?
Pretty much, it was getting to the point where you could feel the warmth just creeping up to the top of the can, and it was like, when do you stop? When is the moment?
I mean, I love the idea that there was just a bathroom on the coach and you just didn't go to it. And everyone's just looking at you like, why is she using the Pringles can? What's these Australians? What is it?
Also, anytime I'm in a bus and 3 people are yelling at me not to look, I'm looking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Adam on the Sunshine Coast, welcome aboard.
How you going, gang?
Very well. What's your bus story?
Nothing too exciting. I was on a sneaky little Bali holiday surf trip, and part of the leg was a 10-hour coach bus ride. And about an hour in, 40 of us on board, the driver kept falling asleep.
Oh, no.
So, eyes closing all over the road. I thought it was kind of normal driving, but I jokingly suggested, I said, hey, you want me to drive? And he said, yeah. So
Have you ever driven a bus before?
At that point, I had not, no.
Okay, great.
Well, have you now? Did it awaken a love of buses in you?
No, it didn't.
But one time only.
Yeah.
Did you get where you were going safely?
We did. We got there. It took 30% longer than it should have, but
you were alive.
Yeah, we made it, and he was very patient when he was teaching me how to change gears, and then
I assumed this was an automatic bus. No,
it was a lesson.
No. Yeah.
Was there a test at the end?
Well, the fun part was me checking back on him asleep in my seat behind me driving.
Yeah,
so
such a sweet deal for him.
Adjusted the rear view mirror just to make sure he was all right. He slept for 6 hours.
Oh, man.
I reckon he does that to every group. He's like, do the old fake sleep, wait to see what hero puts his hand up. What a sucker. Getting paid for nothing. What an idiot. I can't believe he
He fell for that old trick.
The oldest trick in the book.
The old fake asleep.
Oh, man, I would never be that guy. Driving on a Balinese road with absolutely no local knowledge and no knowledge of how to drive a bus. I mean, if you're going to die, at least let it be someone else's responsibility.
I'm amazed that we don't do that more here. Just pretend to be asleep and see if anyone wants to do the show. It's a great strategy and it clearly works.
I love the bus stories, but Perko, in the next little session, in some ways when we ask people to send in stories from around the country on a theme, there's a sub-theme that you were always looking for, and that is defecation. And it's like a magic word for you. You just hear it and you're like, winner, winner. And I do everything I can to try to stem the flow, as it were, of these stories.
I think that's your biggest mistake, because as soon as you started to object to them, Hing and I looked at each other and we thought, well, this is what we'll aim for every week.
And of course, we get them every week, and you get to hear one in this next run of calls. Mitch in Newcastle, welcome aboard. What's your bus story?
G'day guys, how's it going? Look, pretty standard trip on the bus really. I was in year 9. The bus stop for the local school bus was just around the corner from my house. Running a bit late, saw it arriving, ran around the block to sort of catch the bus. As I ran along the side of it, there was a particularly beefy student getting on in front of me. Because of the silhouette of that student and, particularly small 15-year-old me, the bus driver didn't actually see me. So I've grabbed the handle of the door, put my foot up on the step, and the door has closed on my foot.
Oh no.
The bus driver has then still not realised and proceeded to drive down the road.
No!
I went for about 10 to 15 metres where I was able to keep pace by hopping on the other foot. Once we got a little bit further down, the foot came out, and I went straight down on my arse. Luckily, I was wearing a school bag because that took sort of the most of the brunt of it. But yeah, I was there getting dragged along by my foot by the bus, right next to the wheel of the bus.
Oh, Mitch, did you get the day off school?
I didn't even get the day off school.
What?
No.
What's a kid got to do?
I know, right? I went to school. The vice principal called my mother, and the circumstance of it. By the time he even called, I was laughing about the whole thing. So no concerns whatsoever. He's like, "You're fine. You can hang around for the day."
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
I think the best part about it was the bus driver, understandably, was very confused and very apologetic. But the advice that he gave me when I got onto the bus after looking at my injuries was just spit on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's a bus driver and not a doctor. Sophia in Melbourne, what's your bus story?
So my story didn't happen on a bus. Well, technically some of it did probably come out on the bus. Anyway, Year 9. I'm
I hate
on
where
the
this
school
is
bus
going.
home. I start getting some pains in the tummy. The bus is stopping and starting, letting kids off. I'm fully sweating with the strain of holding myself together. And I grew up in the country, so this damn bus is going down dirt roads, hitting potholes and everything. Minutes go by that feel like hours. I get to my stop, door opens, mental battle still happening. My foot hits the ground and gravity just dogs me. I shit myself there and then. Tracksuit pants holding everything in, like it's fully pulled at my ankle. So I just kept looking forward and walking, trying to ignore the fact that I'd flooded myself with shit.
I wish you could see Lewis's face.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis hates a shitting yourself story. Me, on the other hand, I love it every time, Sophia. I bloody love this kind of thing.
It's relatable for you.
Oh, look, hey, shitting yourself and getting away with it. Wow.
Yep. Lucky me. Lucky me.
Oh, I hate it. I hate everything about this. If this story wins, Fergo, it sets a dangerous precedent for the future. Sophia, you're a very nice person, but it's a no from me. Alex from the Northern Beaches, welcome aboard. What's your bus story?
So in 2010, I was doing a Mexico trip with some mates. The first leg of the trip was a 24-hour bus ride from Tijuana to La Paz. So about halfway through, dozed off. I actually remember having a dream that I was having a barbecue and the snags were burning. But little did I know, it was actually my arm that was on fire. I woke up and the whole bus was engulfed in flames.
What?
And everybody had left. It was just us three at the back of the bus. We were the only gringos, as I guess you could call it. And everyone just left us to die, essentially. But
What? How did the fire start?
No idea. But anyway, the bus was on fire, smoke everywhere. We got down low, left the bus. All of the locals are outside screaming at us that the bags were still on the bus. So we had that heroic mindset just kick in and ended up going under the bus, pulling everyone's bags out. And then we've seen enough action movies to know that once the fire gets to a certain point, that's when it explodes. And I kind of had that vibe, so we took off running, and a second later, flying through the air.
Okay, so
it did explode, or is that? Oh, it
exploded. It completely exploded.
What? And since
like a massive explosion.
Since that time, Alex, have you been able to sense explosions other times?
There's a vibe.
Well, I don't actually work anymore. I just look for things that are about to blow up.
Yeah, and save some bags.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so, did you ever get to the bottom of why you were abandoned at the back of the bus at the beginning?
So they didn't seem to like us much in the beginning, but after we saved their bags, they were sharing their sandwiches and stuff with us. But a few hours after the explosion happened, about 3 carloads of Mexican gangsters rocked up and started scrapping all the sheet metal from the bus.
Wow.
That's some real Mad Max shit.
It could have been an inside job.
That's insane.
Well.
Even if I didn't like someone, I don't reckon I'd leave them to die on a bus, if I can be honest.
But for those who think that is bullshit, he has followed up with a bunch of his own personal photos, and either that bus burnt or... No, that bus burnt.
Yeah.
There's no alternative.
On the set of a very convincing film about a bus blowing up or something, you know?
He snuck onto the set of Speed. That man burned a bus, no doubt about it. A staggering story. So much to unpack in that one, Perko. There was the barbecue snag dream.
Yeah.
There was explodey vibes. Had it all.
It really had no idea where that story was going at first, but the explodey vibes was fantastic. And the amount of people on the text line immediately going, I call bullshit. Alex has had that response so often that he already had photos ready for us. Like, as soon as he told us the story, he's like, I've sent photos. Because surely every time he tells it, people are like, bullshit.
A literal too good to be true story. The magic of Simply the Jest.
That's why he has the dossier. But we have a challenger, a new bonus caller for bus stories this week, Simply the Jest. Tori from Brisbane, tell us about your bus story.
Yeah, look, I broke up with me missus on the bus. It was quite embarrassing for, let's just say, the both of us.
Oh. How long was the bus trip?
Like a good 20 minutes.
Oh, so you couldn't have waited?
I don't know. I just thought it was the best time to do it. Actually, it was technically right before the bus. We're about to jump on. So then she was a senior and I was a junior.
Oh.
So she had the back seat privileges.
This is the school bus?
And, like on the way to school.
On the way to
school.
What a way to start your day.
Yeah, and basically she just cried the entire ride.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, a breakup's brutal. A breakup's harsh, dude.
Well, I didn't understand. I was like 15, 16 at the time.
Yeah, it's a valuable time to learn lessons like that. As someone who has gone through a breakup and then got on an 8-hour plane ride, and that's as an adult, I can assure you it is no fun at all. Have you ever done any breakups like that since?
No, but a funny thing is I literally got broken up with just before I jumped on a plane to New Zealand last year.
Was the person who broke up with you also on the plane?
No, luckily she just texted me. I said, all right, I'm boarding now. And she's like, oh, so we should break up.
See,
and
that's smart.
All right, phone's off.
That's much smarter. The clue is to do it when you're not having to sit next to them for the fallout.
Yeah, the clue is to do it literally before they have to put their phone into airplane mode, being unable to respond.
Do you feel like maybe that was a little bit of karma?
100%. I do think so.
And also, you cry so easily in the air. So I think it's a good time to get it out. It's cathartic to be broken up with right before you get on a plane.
It's the pressure difference, I swear.
Yeah, sure. When you broke a young woman's heart on a bus, Tori, school buses are packed with people. What did everyone else think?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't the most popular person in school after that because she was a senior anyway, so I was trying to assert my dominance as a junior, and then also... So when I was a senior, I still wasn't very liked.
Yeah. Were you labelled a villain after this?
I like to think not anymore. I like to think I've been broken up with much more since then. So I think the karma is very on the opposite side of the seesaw now.
A valuable lesson. Thank you, Tori.
Well, Perko, I know you're a fan of emotions, both love and shame, both emotions. Those are the two emotions. But it is time for you to declare a winner. Which story this week is Simply the Jest?
Well, I do wonder if Tori had breakup vibes earlier that day, or his ex-girlfriend did, I wonder. But I don't think I can possibly go past explodey vibes and a bus exploding in Mexico.
Yeah, that story's got it all.
Yeah, Alex from the Northern Beaches. Like, that might be not just the winner of this edition, but one of the all-time great Simply the Jest calls. Like, true all-star edition.
It's going down in the Hall of Fame for sure. As soon as I can find a rental space to create my own museum, it's going in.
Yeah, a walk of fame even. Just dig up some pavements, put them down.
Put his star on the footpath and then set it on fire. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Simply the Jest, Australia's best stories. You can hear us on the radio doing this as a team live on air at 4 p.m. every Wednesday. You can subscribe to the podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram at @NotHobberandHingOfficial or Perkos at Jess Perkins. And you can DM us your stories. Jess Perkins is there every week telling you the topic, and we love your submissions. So please get involved. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.